see it, Mea Culpa. This is a movie review, but first, let's get into this lip gloss, honey. Plumpify, Soft Light Cosmetic. Now let's get into it. This is going to be a spoiler video, so if you want to watch it and haven't watched it, but you don't want to know what happens, keep on scrolling, but make sure you come back to let me know what you think. Let's give it up for the wigs, okay? Tyler Perry heard the people. He heard Black Twitter like, what is wrong with these people's hair? Oh my God, look at these wigs. He heard y'all, and he got it right. I think the hair looked amazing. What do you think? And then also, Kelly girl, can you hook me up with your esthetician? Like, who is she? Where is she? What is she required for a booking? Like, DM me a link. So the movie starts off, kind of dry in couples therapy. But been there, done that. It works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. But moving right along, the second scene, mother-in-law had me all the way thrown off. Like, you really put your son next to you, next to his old boo or a girl who has a crush on him or likes him or something, and you put his wife 3 seats down. So immediately we come into Mia's character as someone who, people are like, I ain't gonna take no stuff. Well, Mea is the opposite. Mia's gonna take it. She's gonna swallow her pride. She's going to suck it up, and she's not gonna say anything. And typically, I'm very much the same. I don't really say anything. I don't ruffle feathers. But this, oh, absolutely not. I'm sitting next to my husband, especially when I know what this chick is up to. In every scene, she is dressed to the nines, but honey, Auntie Annalise Keating would never. Mia's dressed, but it's giving the Devil Wears Prada. It's giving magazine executive, someone who is at the intersection of fashion and culture, but not high-powered attorney. Then fast forward to the scene where it seems like he's gonna bed her. And I was like, no, don't do it. It was predicated upon her unhappy #relationship status, right? Her and her husband are at odds. We see they're in therapy. She, at this point, is clearly not getting along with his family at all. It's like the only ally Mea has is the legal person under her who is like the research person, whatever you call that person who studies legal briefs, her private investigator, and then her sister-in-law. It was really just like Mea against the world at this point. So she is falling for this guy, and it's like, oh my gosh, no, don't do it. And then they don't do it. They hop on a motorcycle. And I was like, oh, okay. But then it reminded me of another Tyler Perry movie with a scene where it was like, what's going on? Somebody who's really clothed and buttoned up hops on a motorcycle to, free themselves. I love the cinematography of their lovemaking scene, covered in paint, but on a tarp. I was like, oh my gosh, this is some really good cinematography. And then at the end, it zooms up, and I was like, wait, they're really on a tarp? I thought they were on a canvas, and I thought, wow, that would have been really incredible if they had been on a canvas with all this paint, all sparkling all over their bodies, and they could have made a beautiful, large masterpiece. But then we see why it was on a tarp. And there's a quote where your girl says, many canvases, many layers. Didn't sink in until the next scene when you see how Mea reacts to the many canvases, many layers. And I thought, oh, wow, but it's bigger than that. It's bigger than him painting multiple women he is in relationships with. It's us. We are many canvases and many layers to who we are. And as we grow and mature and go through love and heartbreak and successes and failures, that's all just layers of us as people. Oh, I loved it. That part to me was just really deep. Then there's this, we're inching up to the climax, right? Climax is here. We're like here. And Mea goes back to the brother-in-law's house. And it's like, no, why would you go to the brother-in-law's house? Girl, you already know what they about to do. But because she's so buttoned up and so innocent and demure, I guess she was trying to believe the best. But you can see right before she goes, she literally screams, ah, because you already know you're not supposed to be going to these people's house. Like, come on, girl. Then she stood there and waited to get stabbed. The last scene, the absolute last scene, I would have liked to see her walk past his truck and have them almost make eye contact, but then he does a double take, like, did I see who I thought I saw? Is that her? But then again, big picture, right? It's like people walk past us every day and we don't recognize someone who is very much connected to our lives is walking or riding past us. It was very bird's eye view of the entire situation. So I feel this movie came forward in a lot of ways. It was better than I expected once I heard it was a horror movie. I enjoyed it. And there were parts that caught me off guard, just a few. But what I don't appreciate is the narrative that is perpetually shown. A black man, physically attractive, and all he has is some good peen in a dream. Like, these guys are broke. It seems like they don't know their ass from a hole in the wall, but they fall in love for this high-powered executive who is in an unhappy relationship or single and unhappy and almost desperate, but not really. And she has these walls up that this guy with good peen in the dream is going to knock down all of those walls, only to find out that maybe I shouldn't have given him a shot anyway. Like, what? I don't. There was an interview where Tyler Perry said something about if the man could pay the light bill, let him pay the light bill. This is what the movie is giving me. Now, this guy is an artist, and in the movie, he has money. We don't know quite how much money, but just the optics of you being an artist. Most artists are starving artists. That term didn't come out of nowhere. And then you have these dynamic mother and son teams who pair up to take over the world, but not for good. It leaves a little bit to be desired. But all in all, I think the movie did what it was supposed to do. Go check it out.